Alright, I'm a bit late on this. Flash episode 14 review. King Shark vs. Gorilla Grodd. There's not much else to say about it except for what the title already says itself. This, it's a really strange episode. It's mostly filler. Would seem, the fight between uh, I almost said King Kong, but it does sort of pay tribute to that. But the fight between King Shark and Gorilla Grodd, it's pretty good for a TV budget. But also at the same time, it's very questionable because it is a filler episode for the most part, and it would seem that they dropped a lot of this year's budget directly into this episode just for this fight that doesn't really matter overall. More of fan service. But it is done very well. It is comic bookish, very bookish. But there's really not much to say outside of that. Let's just go ahead and get into it. First, let's say Joe West is back. That's one good thing. The actor was gone for a while due to a back injury. He's back here, but you don't get much of him. You do get some simple explanations. He was all visiting Wally. He's been busy with the kids, you know, that kind of stuff. But the real thing here is Iris, she's avoiding going back to her office since Cicada tried to attack her, and Iris is not a part of the gang this episode. So much to the point that by the end of the episode, she gets a message from Cisco about King Shark and Gorilla Grodd going at it, and it's like you didn't know about this at all. This big thing happened downtown, and you didn't know about it at all. So it was really questionable. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" Really. Outside of that, really, the only real progress made this episode to further the plot is that the cure is done, and they use King Shark as a guinea pig. That's not the intention at first, but that's how it plays out when they go to Argus to. So they simply go with see if he'll volunteer to have the cure tested on him. He's talk active these days because he's got this sort of telepathic thing on him where he can communicate whatever this tech, and his sort of trainer or whatever tells him, that he's harmless, but he freaks out during the conversation, tries to attack them, goes to eat Cisco, and Flash interferes, injects him with the cure, saves Cisco's life, and then we get your typical melodramatic CW crap where Cisco's all butthurt about Flash curing King Shark because he didn't have King Shark's consent. So even though King Shark, now human, is perfectly fine with it, Cisco's still mad. But he did it to save Cisco's life. So it's really dumb. And another thing that's really dumb, by the end of the episode, Barry tells them he wants to use it to try to, well, Cisco is mad because he cured him, and he's like, "This is what you were planning to do all along, right?" Wasn't that the thing that they were gonna try to cure cicadas so we'd stop murdering everybody? I mean, because if you don't do that, you've got to murder him. I'm a little lost here because I thought the whole point was to cure Cicada and no longer have him be a threat. But this is Cisco's butthurt about this. So by the end of the episode, though, Flash comes to them and he's like, "I want to offer the cure to Cicada." He wants to offer it to Cicada. Cicada's not in his right mind, so of course he's not gonna take the offer. Uh, yeah, it just really seemed dumb to me. But the King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd, it was a good fight. It was a good thing, and Lila was here this episode, sort of guest star. That was cool. Uh, Joe being back, that was cool. But for the most part, it's just a filler episode. Really is. That I'll give them this. They do have an interesting, strange love story in here, and that's between King Shark and the woman. Ultimately, here's another thing that bothered me. King Shark throws away everything to save Flash and Nora Allen when the city is in danger from Gorilla Grodd getting this device and pretty much taking over, mind controlling everybody. Uh that would have been really cool. That see, Gorilla Grodd would be a really cool villain to have for the entire season. I understand you can't show him the whole time, but you could have him manipulating events, you know, through mind control, and it would be a really great season. But they always go with the speedster. Last season they went with the lackluster. I can't even remember his name. Uh, and this season, as Cicada supposed to be the main villain, is Reverse Flash, or is the little girl in charge of Cicada. I don't know what the hell's going on, but there's way too much filler, and it's gotten old at this point. They're not progressing the plot forward. So King Shark essentially gets cured and throws it all away, the love of his life, because Earth 2, uh, well, Sherlock Wells has some good stuff this episode, talking to King Shark's love interest, and it is a well told love story in Beauty and the Beast style. At the end, when she's at the aquarium and he's King Shark again swimming around, and he talks to her through the glass, it was kind of sweet, but it's kind of you don't want to think about it too much because it's like, well, how are they supposed to, it's weird. But uh, he throws everything away after being this angry, mindless shark. He can't remember half of the horrible things he did. He can't remember most of the horrible things he did, but he's willing to throw it all away to take down Grodd and save Flash and Nora because he feels like he owes the city for all the horrible things he's done, but he can't remember most of the horrible things he's done. So I don't know. I just felt like wasn't really well written. The love story angle that was well written, that was interesting. The Gorilla Grodd and King Shark fight was pretty good looking for a TV budget, but this whole episode really is questionable, uh, especially because I thought the whole plan was to try to cure Cicada so he'd no longer be a serial killer that massacres people, because he's not going to accept the cure. Uh, I just, I'd give this like a 5 out of 10. Honestly, it just didn't do it for me. It was just a fan service Gorilla Grodd King Shark fight, more of a distraction, really. They really need to start moving this plot along. So 5 out of 10 for me. Yeah. Subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, like, comment, all that good stuff. Stay awesome. Rock on.